Yes, good afternoon, Jayan.
Good afternoon, Ram.
Pleasure as always to meet you now in a very formal, little bit formal setting,
Formal,
but we'll make it informal
Definitely.
as much as we can. See, again, the origin started from you. In fact, you are the reason that we are doing this.
Right.
And just to introduce you to the audience, Jayan is branding partner for iBUS. And not only that, he himself, you yourself are a founder of a company, and also you are a very diverse personality. That's the reason I want to speak to you. So let's start from there. My initial this thing is I wanted to walk you through Jay in the high school days. Let's go there.
I think that's an important question for me because I don't even believe the path that I've taken to where I am today. I'm this born introvert, timid, shy kid. Grew up in a small township called Navy. I was supposed to know 4 languages: Malayalam, my mother tongue; Tamil because I was in Navy; English because I was in English medium school; and Hindi because my second language was Hindi.
Wow.
Yeah, in a scale of 10, I would probably rate all of this at -1.
Really?
Now imagine the state of this kid. Timid, shy, introvert, does not speak language properly. But what eventually happened was I got into a shell. I stopped talking to people. And I never knew that time that talking was such an important trait for us. And by stroke of luck, I landed in BITS Pilani. And that was a huge shock for me because I found students from across India speaking fluent English. So that was actually a tough journey for me. So,
This was which year, just to get the
this was, I finished school in 88, 12th standard in 88. So 88
just
is-
to give the context.
Yeah.
82 is I graduated engineering. So 88 is I was 7 years into my professional journey.
Wow. Okay. So now it's very clear. Our ages are like revealed. Yeah. So that was high school. So the best part was probably the school that I went to. It was Jawahar Higher Secondary School, and
Oh,
the principal was such a strict man. So for him, only results mattered. The outcome was that a lot of us went to some of the best institutions in India. Anna University, IIT, BITS Pilani, then those days REC.
Paris is it?
Yeah, REC was there. So that was the best part of our principal being so strict. We actually had All India first rank in CBSE.
Fantastic.
Imagine a Navy, a
Every
small
school
township, and getting an All India first rank. And,
Amazing.
so I remember all that. So probably that was good. Academically, we were pretty strong, the students. So that was only saving grace for me.
Amazing to hear that. Now let's switch back immediately to the context now. See, you're an entrepreneur. That too in a space that I personally found it, in my view, see, I am opposite of you in the sense I have no creativity bone. Absolutely. I can't draw anything, I can't sing, all of that. So I always also very skeptical about this marketing and branding. I said it's all extra. It's said, ultimately what you produce, what is the tech you build. That's always been the case. Till we met you, we somehow landed and met with each other. And then now I'm converted. But I couldn't just understand the journey. Now, what takes, especially given your BITS Pilani background, to come into a creative? I mean, to me, it looks like what you do is absolutely creative. You can't even pin anything, to this. How do you align yourself? How did you turn? It's a transformation, isn't it, from the math world to absolutely something like a marketing.
Yeah, math, obviously, I was surprisingly good then. But you're right. So having done engineering in BITS Pilani, almost every other classmate of mine got into tech. I was probably the only one who didn't write a line of code ever. I'm thankful that I got into marketing, but it's not by choice. I didn't get a tech job, to be honest. I don't think I've revealed this anywhere ever. Even my wife doesn't know this. But marketing was a standby job. I mean, you don't get anything, you get into either sales or marketing. That's how I got into it. And I was an utter failure in marketing. I've written it in my LinkedIn summary because I wanted it to be there to remind me that, dude, you were not successful in the early part of your career. But interestingly, my boss then was the most adventurous guy that I've ever met in my life. He gave me a faulty product, a software product in a floppy disk, and we were supposed to go around selling that. and I couldn't speak English properly. I'm not a communicator. I'm very shy. So marketing is not cut out for me. But when I went there, out in the market, nobody was even prepared to listen to what I was saying. So I didn't say it the way it has to be said. And added to that, I had a faulty product. So utter failure, I come back without any leads or sales. And I used to crib to him, sir, you gave me a faulty product, how can I sell? So he asked me only one question. Do you agree that there are at least 40,000 fools in India? I want you to go find 400. Is it a problem? So like 40,000 is a less number in India. And then out of that 400, not bad. And then I went back with that Josh. The best part is I found those fools who were willing to pay for a faulty product, listening to such a crappy communication from a guy like me. And that is when I realized there is market for pretty much everything in this world. But later on, I used to tell, in this organization, I learned what not to do, because I don't want to be going around looking for fools, right? But that was a great experience for me. And slowly I figured out that it is all about communication. It is all about storytelling, irrespective of what the product or service is. So the only skill that I need to really be building is my English and the way I articulate. These are the only two things I need to be focusing on. And from that day onwards, I started learning English all over again in my life. And that's actually a separate story that I keep narrating. First, July 11th, 1992.
Wow.
Is when I told these guys under a tree in a tea shop. I told them, from today we will start learning English. They burst out laughing. He said, we? English? No way. I said, no, we'll start this. We started learning a word a day. Then every weekend we revisit all those 6 words and then try and see how we can apply it. We were pathetic, but nobody was listening to us. So we were quite confident, right? But that exercise started as a fun thing. To be honest, that exercise still continues. That's how vast languages are. We all think that, oh, we know English well, we know our mother tongue well, and we have arrived. No, we only probably know 60%. Yeah. And the next challenge was how to articulate, how to be a storyteller. If you are a storyteller, if you can articulate, you can negotiate and you can influence, there's nothing that you can stop from happening. I find it funny these days when salespeople come and tell me, oh, I'm not able to make a sale. No, that's wrong. I think it is your ability to do these, right? Communicate in the way you need to communicate. And that's how I started focusing on communication. And for communication, your language has to be good. That's the foundation. Without that, you won't be able to communicate really well. So both go hand in hand. So that's the only skill I built. And over time, I figured out I used to paint when in my childhood. So probably that's where the creativity came. But creativity has nothing to do with painting, or you said I can't do these things. It has nothing to do with that. If you have ever made excuses in life, you're creative. Very simple. And we all make those excuses. We killed our grandmother 5 times to escape from homework.
That's correct.
Right?
So you are creative. Everybody is born creative.
Everybody is creative, and we are creative in our own individual ways. I do these exercises when I go for my speaking assignments. I ask people to just randomly scribble on a piece of paper. And I ask them to convert that scribble into words. Everybody does it.
I totally agree. There's no. In fact, there's coming to think of it, even our conversation, your co-founder Reshma used to tell me, when I used to, even now I believe I'm not creative enough, to the extent that I wanted to be. Because for me, creative means you should go to sing, dance, or draw a picture and all that. This is a different perspective. This other thing that intrigued me was your choice of profession, to be an entrepreneur. When did this journey start? I mean, from being a paycheck guy, I'm sure. For me, it was very late in my life. How did you get hooked onto that?
Corporate life of 20 years, then you come across everything that you don't want to be doing in life. Okay. This politics in corporates, I don't want to dwell deeper into it. And wherever people are there is bound to be conflicts, different points of view. So, and sometimes it works, it doesn't work in your favor, then you get depressed. So I was kind of fed up, and then I decided one fine morning that I'll quit. I didn't have a job on hand, and I didn't have any idea that I'll be starting on my own. I tried after that. After I came out, I said, let me try. but I didn't get what I wanted. Then I decided I'm going to take 1 year off, and I'm just going to be this nomad uh, who has no plans in life, but I'll try. Uh, no idea what entrepreneurship is, how to run business, finance. I have no clue what finance is. I don't even know the spelling of finance, and to be shameless, I don't even know about it even today. So Reshma keeps making fun of it, and interestingly, she also doesn't know. So that's a different thing. So we are pathetic at
You make tons of money, I know that.
What I'm trying to say is that's not important. But what I really learned, this is the 12th year of Toss the Coin.
Yeah.
What I've really learned is there's nothing big about entrepreneurship. Take a work, beat expectations. Everything else will fall in place. That's it. Don't look at money. This guy is paying so much, so I'll only give him so much. Don't equate that. Instead, this guy has a problem. Let me try and solve it the best way possible. Because when he has a problem, he doesn't know what that solution is. But whereas I know what the solution is. So he will be satisfied with whatever you give him. So instead, give everything that you have.
Yeah.
So that it solves that problem. It also helps him prepare for a future problem that may occur, which I was aware at that time. So many people stop from giving that, thinking that, oh, that's a different business opportunity.
Different scope, yeah.
It's a different scope and a different business opportunity. Let me do that. So this is exactly what we've been doing, and what we have got out of this is our business till date is 100% referenceable.
Good.
We have never marketed ourselves. Right? That's how it is. So people will talk about the good work that you have done.
Yeah.
And there are people there are our customers in the US who, one of them came recently. It's a very interesting episode. He was coming to India, and one of our customers told him, if you're going to India, you better go and meet Toss the Coin. So he said, I don't think I'll have time, I'll find it. He said, no, it's not a request, it's a threat.
Wow.
You don't come back to me and say that you didn't meet them. You probably miss your family function, I don't care. But you better go and meet them. So this guy somehow made sure that he came to our office, he had little time, he came, sat there and said, look here, I want this to be recorded. So that I can go back and tell him that I did indeed met them.
Great endorsement.
And that is a great endorsement for us. And you don't get this lightly. The tricky thing is, now you have two people to please. The guy who's referring you and the guy who got referred. So that's a tricky thing, but just go and do your work. Entrepreneurship is only about serving the needy. Needy in the sense the customer who comes to you with a problem statement. That's all. It's service, nothing else. I go to colleges to speak. I tell people, hey, do things passionately. The money will come to your bank automatically. You don't have to even bother what route it takes. It will come to the bank automatically.
Yeah, as an entrepreneur myself, I came very late to become. I didn't even have that. I have another. I was kind of done. I was wanting to play golf, do my running. Then I landed into. Maybe you got it in anger, that bug or whatever.
Not really young,
but I was far
younger than you. Yeah.
So that is a good thing. I mean, I'm beneficiary of that. The passion with which you come at it and look at it. That's great. So quickly, I want to move to the other phase that because you have multiple stuff you do. Jayan, I know at least that I don't know maybe much more. Your passion in public speaking. Now Toastmaster, we were just talking, and then you're darn good at it. I've seen you. Whatever you post on LinkedIn, I follow.
Okay.
It's so nice, beautiful. How you can just icebreaker or hold an audience and all that. I could relate to that where you came from. But to have a flair, to develop a flair to a point that you can engage a bunch of audience just like that requires hard work and talent. I'm not saying, I know you're being humble by saying it just came, but I know a lot of effort goes into that. How is that happening? Why is that even today you're a Toastmaster, aren't you? Give me that background of Toastmaster.
I was bad at communication, I told you when I started, and I felt that this is one area that I'm really weak. If you're really good in communication, your confidence will be at an all-time high. And you can pretty much tackle any situation on hand. So that's the base, and many people take it so lightly. And I've even read somewhere that your technical skills will help you only to a certain extent, say up to 25%. And the remaining 75%, if you want to really grow in your career, it is about your ability to articulate, negotiate, inspire, and motivate.
So all of that.
All of that. And the base is communication. So So if you're good at communication, if you can articulate your thought process in a cohesive way and a storytelling format, that reaches the audience pretty fast. And today in the social media age, there is something called attention economy. Everybody's talking about attention economy, and it is reducing. People can't even listen to a content for more than a few seconds, and they will quickly jump to the next one. That's why the reels on Instagram are really famous today, because they will just quickly keep scraping. And
that attention deficit
is there. So that is something that that I figured out that I was lacking completely. So in 2006, when I was working in an organization called Covances in Chennai.
Covances, I know them. Yeah.
Covances in Chennai, they started the Toastmaster Club. Yeah. So then I didn't have an escape route. So it's right there under my nose in my organization. So I better go and find out. I went. They called me over to do an extempore speech for 2 minutes. They gave me a topic in a piece of paper. I couldn't even read that topic. 150 people sitting there and staring at me. Then I walked back and like applause. And I just thought people were making fun of me. But that's what Toastmasters is all about. It is about motivating people to, even for having taken that first step to get up from my seat and walk to the stage and read that is motivation for me, right? So they applaud. And that was exciting. And then somebody came and said, "Hey man, you did a great job." I said, "I didn't even utter a word." He said, "No, you had the courage to get up from the chair. How many people will do that?" Wow. And you walked up to the stage and you stood here like 30 seconds. Unbelievable, man. This guy's so serious. But that kind of gave me a push. The very next week they had a meeting, I went and sat there. And this time I was able to read the topic, but I couldn't speak anything. So it's a slow process. It's a step-by-step process. But today, after so many years and having completed 3,300, no, I think 2,800 speeches so far that I've delivered.
Amazing.
2,000 were flop. And only I know that, right?
Correct,
and
absolutely.
in a space where you're communicating, you're speaking in front of an audience, you're only as good as your last speech.
Yeah.
Right. So we need to keep that in mind. But the important aspect is, are you willing to try something new in front of the audience? And are you willing to fail? If you have that in your mind, and then you can go and easily connect. And here creativity plays a huge role.
Because you think on your feet.
Think on your feet and
correlation.
Yes. And then see how can you be different when you start speaking to people. I adopt humor a lot because that's something that I never got. And then I started trying humor. Interestingly, it worked. And humor connects like.
Yeah.
So it's great. And I also I do self-deprecating humor a lot. And that's the safest humor that you can pull yourself down. Works. But everybody, I think the younger crowd should be in any forum. I don't want to be promoting Toastmasters, but though I would love to promote Toastmasters because I'm an amazing beneficiary of this forum, this beautiful forum. And interestingly, this is the 100th year, and it's
of Toastmasters.
So 2024 is the 100th year. So that is something that really helped me become better. But I'm still active, so I get an opportunity week on week to go and try something new.
I wanted to crack a joke. Like,
there are a lot of jokes that we all read, and then we kind of share that with people. If they've already come across that joke, it's going to fall flat. Yeah. So what about something that is original? And that is what we need to continuously look for. And these jokes are all around us. Sometimes, I always tell that humor is an outcome of some form of pain.
wow.
Yeah. When you do a postmortem of that pain. I had this heart surgery around 4 years back.
You had, or somebody had?
I had.
You had? Oh.
Yeah, and they were wheeling me to the operation theatre.
Oh, gosh.
And just before they were wheeling me to the operation theatre, I heard the doctors discuss there's only a 50-50 chance.
Oh gosh,
and I was telling them, guys, go there and talk. Don't talk in front of me. Just when you're wheeling me into the operation theatre. And when they were wheeling me into the operation theatre, there were two doors, one to go in and one to go out. And I'm lying on the bed, and I'm just like all that I can see is the roof. And right on top of the door that I was being wheeled in, it was written strictly one way.
Oh God.
So I thought it was a message from God, right? Already 50-50.
50-50. Oh, then you had
100% confirmed. And that's the state of mind in which I was being dragged into the
Oh,
operation theatre. At that point of time, it's trauma. But when I narrate this, you're laughing.
Yes. It's amazing. You know. That
So
is good.
every humor comes from pain.
Pain.
That's why self-deprecating humor.
Yeah, that's
Usually what I do is I go on stage and I ask people, hey, am I audible? Like they have to say, yeah, you're audible. Then I kind of stretch that further and say, how about the last row? Am I audible? They all shake their head and say, yeah, you're audible. I said, this is the usual question speakers have in their mind, right? And the usual worry they have in their mind if they're audible. But for me, it's least of my worries. Am I visible?
Yeah, that's it.
And then they burst into laughter, and then they breaks the ice, right?
Absolutely.
So now this is something that I can't do on somebody else.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's good. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
So self-deprecating humor is special.
Yeah.
Like a 6-footer can't do this joke.
Yes, you only.
Only I can do that, right? So what is for you
Yeah.
will work for you, and it'll work for the audience. And when you put yourself down in front of the audience, they kind of like it, because a lot of speakers come with attitude. So the superior attitude. Oh, I'm the expert in this field, so I'm talking. You better listen to me.
Correct.
So that kind doesn't work. So the moment you break that ice with the audience, the rest 45 minutes, 1 hour, they're with you.
You're correct.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. I think we are.
We're done.
Yeah, we're kind of done. Thank you very
Thank
much,
you
Jayan.
so
What a
much,
pleasure.
Ram.
It
It
is.
was
Thank you.
such a pleasure talking to you.